If you're past 50, it's time to shift life a little. And if you're past 60, it's time to stop worrying about what people think and finally start living for you. Let's be honest for a moment. Why does life feel so heavy these days? The body aches in places you didn't even know existed. Relationships aren't what they used to be. You've worked your whole life, and yet your heart feels strangely empty. You look in the mirror and think, is that really me? Your kids are busy. Mom, I'll call you later. Dad, I'm swamped right now. Friends call less. The doctor shrugs and says, well, that's age. Yours, your. And on your way home, you can't help thinking, did I live wrong? Did I not take care of myself? Is this happening because I'm lacking somehow? Let me nail one thing down today. This is not your fault. Truly, it isn't. Let me bring in a philosopher for a moment, Arthur Schopenhauer, a man who spoke about life with brutal honesty. Life by its very nature is suffering. At first you may think, well, that's depressing. But if you stay with him, you realize he's right. He says suffering isn't something you created. It's not a punishment. It's simply the default setting of human life. Every human carries a burden from the very start. So all those thoughts you've had, if only I were wiser, if only I had done better, if only I were a better person, all that self-blame, it was pointed in the wrong direction. Schopenhauer steps in and says, you're not the only one struggling. Life itself is built this way. So here's the simple conclusion. Stop blaming yourself. Really, enough. He saw human beings as creatures who are always lacking something. Hungry, you need food. Lonely, you need people. Sick, you need health. And we tell ourselves, if I just get that one thing, I'll be happy. But something strange happens. Schopenhauer puts it simply. When a desire is fulfilled, you don't get happiness. You get boredom. Think about it. You've been sick for a long time. Doctor visits, medication, pain. You whisper to yourself, if only I were healthy again, I'd be truly happy. Then your body improves a bit. For a few days, you feel great. I can breathe again. But after a month, health becomes normal. Another lack shows up. Not enough money. No calls from the kids. Nobody really needs you. And the cycle begins again. Lack, suffering, relief, boredom, new lack. Not because you're flawed, but because that is how humans are built. Now let's bring this down to our age. You wake up and everything aches. Climbing a few steps leaves you breathless. Sleep doesn't come like it used to. The doctor says, it's just age. Your mind understands, but your heart feels cheated. Why me? I should have taken better care of myself. What did I do wrong? Here's Schopenhauer again. The decline of the body is not a failure. It is simply time doing its work. Your body carried you for 60, 70 years. Of course it's worn out. Of course it needs rest. This is not your fault. So change the words you use. Not why is my body like this? But thank you for bringing me this far. Your kids are busy. Your calls get shorter. Your heart gets a little bruised. Friends fade too. Some are sick. Some are caring for grandkids. I'm sucking and some have already passed. And you think, Yuri Mwasasetin Kudiyuan. Am I boring now? Did they stop liking me? Did I do something wrong? Schopenhauer answers, human beings are, at their core, solitary. Cold words, but true ones. Everyone, your kids, your friends, is simply trying to survive their own life. Your loneliness is not a personal failure. It's the shape of the world we now live in. You spent decades being needed, at work, at home, everywhere. But now the structure has shifted. Retirement, kids living their own lives. Suddenly, no one needs you urgently. Time is plentiful, but your heart feels hollow. You wonder, is the rest of my life just leftovers? Am I just waiting for the end? Schopenhauer calls this the suffering of boredom. When we worked, we were exhausted, but we felt alive. Now, even that feeling is quieter. But remember this, that hollow feeling, it means you're still alive. You're still searching. You haven't given up. So, think of it this way. I'm not broken. I'm simply moving into a new season. Schopenhauer advises, don't fight suffering, walk with it. All our lives we reacted like this. Pain, I must remove it. Lonely, I must find someone. Anxious, I must distract myself. But it rarely works. Because suffering isn't something you delete. It's something baked into the system. So, shift direction. Yes, it hurts. Yes, I'm lonely. Yes, I'm anxious. Just acknowledge it. If your body aches, say, my body is asking for rest. If you feel lonely, I still haven't lost my need for connection. If you feel anxious, I still care about my future. The moment you acknowledge it, the suffering softens. Because the worst suffering is the second layer. This shouldn't be happening. Most of our fears are about the future. What if I get sicker? What if I become a burden? What if I end up alone? Schopenhauer reminds us, most of the things we fear never happen. And when they do, we handle them. So try this. I will take responsibility only for today. When you wake up, say, just today. Tomorrow will be handled by tomorrow's me, not avoidance. One. Survival. Schopenhauer defined happiness as the moment suffering takes a brief pause, warm water easing your back pain, a cup of tea under gentle sunlight, an old song on the radio, a grandchild running toward you yelling, Grandma, Grandpa. Tiny moments, but enormous if we let them be. Start saying, this feels good. This feels peaceful. Just once. Out loud. Happiness isn't a grand state. It's a series of small passing lights. Another attitude he loved. Contemplation. Taking one step back and simply watching. On a walk, tell yourself, no thinking. Just looking. Trees swaying. Clouds drifting. People passing by. No judging. Just noticing. For a brief while, your suffering takes a rest. And above all virtues, Schopenhauer valued compassion. We were all born without choosing it. We all struggle, and we all leave eventually. Knowing this softens the way we see others and ourselves. Even your children, when they forget to call, are simply trying to endure their own storms. And the most important person to show compassion to is you. Not, I did nothing today, but I made it through today. Good job. Not, my body is falling apart, but you carried me all this way. Thank you, Soranana11. Compassion isn't weakness. It's strength. Now let's get practical. Here are things you can start today. Before getting out of bed, I open my eyes. I'm breathing. I'm still here. Open the window. Whether the weather is kind or not, say, the world is still turning. While eating, turn off the TV and phone. Just one meal. This is eating time. Hear the chewing. Taste the food. Feel the swallow. Live only this moment. Go for a short walk. 10 minutes. No destination. Just stay at each steps. If there are flowers, flowers. Kids laughing, kids playing. Just watching, not trying to live. Just letting life move with you. Before bed, write one line. My back hurt today. The sunlight was warm. My son called. No judgment, just record. You'll look back and say, I lived more than I realized. When you drink tea, just tea. When you watch TV, just TV. When you rest, just rest. One thing at a time. The simpler life becomes, the quieter the heart becomes. And yes, after 60 or 70, death stops being a distant rumor. You hear news, run short. You attend funerals. Your own body reminds you. One day you think, my turn is coming too. Of course it's scary. Of course we don't like it. But Schopenhauer says, we did not exist before we were born, and we did not suffer then. After death, it is the same. Think back to 1900 or 1800. We weren't here. We didn't suffer. We simply didn't exist. What we fear isn't death itself, but the process of dying, pain, goodbyes. The unknown. So he suggests, don't cling to the idea of death. Stay with the time you are still alive. When we remember our time is limited, each moment becomes more precious. Let me wrap up today's talk. 1. Your suffering is not your fault. Life was built difficult. 2. Don't spend the rest of your years trying to erase suffering. Learn to walk alongside it. 3. Don't carry the whole future. Just take care of today. 4. Look for small comforts, not giant happiness. 5. One. Give compassion to others, and most of all, to yourself. Schopenhauer said, "We cannot change life, but we can change how we look at it." So tonight, before you sleep, tell yourself, you did well today. Thank you for coming this far. And tomorrow, it's okay to go slow. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be strong. The fact that you made it through today is already extraordinary. If this message helped lighten your heart, even by 1 centimeter, that's enough. Rest well. And tomorrow, let's live again together. Thank you, Soranana 11. Life's suffering cannot be avoided, but we can choose how we carry it. Arthur Schopenhauer. May your tomorrow feel just a little lighter. And if you enjoyed this talk, a like and a subscription helps this story travel farther. See you in the next video.